Hello everybody, welcome back to Operation Hats. It is now July 1939, and I'm here for the Japanese turn. Sorry, my volume is a bit quiet today. It's late. I was hoping to get this recorded during the day, but I had quite a lot of work to do for my Shakespeare and film class, which was very enjoyable. Alan Rickman plays a ferocious Tybalt in the BBC Romeo and Juliet, but it did mean that I was unfortunately unable to do this recording until now, and there is some young people asleep above me, so I'm going to try and keep my volume down a bit. We'll see if I can fix that in editing, but if that's why my computer sounds lighter and my voice sounds quieter, that's what you hear. So, on to the turn. I was hoping to get a strategy video out before this one, but again, some stuff conspired to render me unable to get that out last night, and I wasn't able to do so today, so we're going to have to just settle for a really normal turn. If you want to hear my strategy thoughts, I might get one out before January. We'll see. Until then, you just have to guess, just like my components. So, builds. We're going to use this handy one Jinx has put up over here. We've got 8 for a transport plane, 8 for another transport plane, 8 for 2 Marines, 8 for a minor factory, and 5, which is 8, another 8, another 8, 24, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 8s, 32, and then 5 for cavalry and militia, 37. So we saved none. So, moving on to our turn, we are doing some minimal combats here today. Yeah, last turn didn't go well. There's a lot too many KMT infantry left, so we're going to do our best to winnow them down a bit. CCP has somewhat annoyingly taken Sinking. We would have liked that province, but no, I won't complain. And ignore all the markers around there for non-combat. Oh, actually, that does remind me, before the turn starts, there's some housekeeping from previous turns that I need to get to. First, Germany aligned Hungary. That happens to place units and collect income phase, so those units are not able to move. He moved 2 of them to Romania, so those infantry are going to come back. He also moved a fighter over here to Western Germany. At least I'm pretty sure that's where it went. If I'm wrong, David can correct me, but it will go back to Hungary. Alright. I find this erase tool very finicky sometimes. Just the draw tool in general. Can't quite figure out how to make different size lines, though I obviously mentioned them over there. Alright, over here, these 6 damage are from the Italian turn. They clear at the start of the calendar turn. So this line has no damage on it and is available to raid. So that's that. As well, the German medium bomber here came from northern Germany and had only 6 movements, says them, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pretty sure I counted this out, and it could reach to Brook. So, oh, it was Bavaria. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Brook, where it's going to come in here and hang out with the Deutsches Afrika Corps. So, that's that one. And then finally, Jinx said he only marked the Canadian line for 2 damage. It should be 3, so we're going to quickly stick another one on there. I haven't gone back to check that that is the correct, the absolute correct amount. I'm a bit short on time, so I'll wait for. Oh, I just accidentally gave him 4 damage because I double copied him. So I'm not going to subtract that income from Davik yet. I'll let him do that on his turn after he's more thoroughly checked the video. I'm a bit short on time today. So that should be all the corrections. Yes. So back to 5-star already did all his. Fortunately, due to some rendering issues, Jinx wasn't able to get his turn out before 5-star did his for the common turn, and so his mistakes are covered in his own correction video on his turn, which I don't believe is in the playlist yet, so I'll have to add that. So back to my turn. Combat movements, we're not making very many. We're going to take these 2 cavalry from Szechuan. It's from Hunan into Szechuan, along with this big stack of planes that are itching for something to do. And I believe that's it. I don't think I've got anything else hanging out here. Yes, that is all. So, we're going to go ahead and roll it. So, that is 3 tacticals and 4 fighters, because you memorize the Japanese planes pretty quick. So 4 fighters. Here. We'll run 3 tacticals in green and 3 fighters, and we'll see how that goes. Not most impressively, we got 3 hits. 6, 1, and a 7. That's speed. So that infantry is very dead. It is now going to roll back at a 4. Got a 6. So it is eliminated. The Japanese finally cleared out the KMT Thorn in the north here, and hopefully Shantung will be continually safe from further cross-border raids. Alright. Get back up there. I really need to just go through and make sure all my roundels not drag selectable, but that's something that will take way more time than I want to invest at the moment. So, then just on to non-combat movements. One of the infantry from the 41st is going to come north and be placed in Quachao. One of the infantry from Hopei is going to rail down to Qingtung, join the 41st. One of the infantry from Kyushu is going to hop on a transport, which are then going to go to P14, pick up an infantry from Hopei, and then 2, 3, down to Qingtung, and land in the 41st. One destroyer is going to pick up 1 marine, and go 1, 2, 3, down to Qingtung, put him in the 41st. We're going to pick up another marine from Tokyo, send him down to the 41st, along with another destroyer, going to the 2nd and out here. We're going to take this transport from P32. It's going to go 1 back to Kyushu, pick up these 2 infantry, and then go 2, 3 to drop them off in Qingtung. And so it will also land up back here. And then we have 1 transport from the 2nd fleet, which is going to Strategic Naval Move 1, 2. Pick up this cavalry from Rihi from that major port there, and then go 3, 4, and drop it off. Drop it off, also in the 41st. So, there we go. These 2 transports will go 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Yeah, I think they'll both just move back to the Siege of Japan for now. We'll leave that escorting force there. This force can remain here. We're in no real danger of any KMT breakouts to the coast. This fleet will all remain where it is. We're going to go ahead and move this coastal sub, which I keep forgetting to do, from P50 into P59. These submarines I think are all going to stay here. Yeah, it's that French one that's survived. Indeed. It's always difficult last things to make sure you get everything. Alright. I think that's all. I'm going to send 1 more destroyer up from 2 that didn't transport marine all the way up north here, just in case I want to do something with that later. Probably a little bit oversafe. Alright, let's clear all these marks off. Got those. Strategic name move, strategic rail. Alright. All the planes are back. Alright, so I believe we can move on to place units. So, We're going to come over here, we're going to grab the pile. Alright, so this minor factory is going to go down in Siam, where it will reinforce our good ally. These two air transports are going to run into a battleship, apparently, are going to be put down in Tokyo. These two marines are going to be put down in Kyushu. This cavalry is going to be put down in Rihi. And this militia was pretty much insurance in case I didn't take Szechuan, so I don't really know where I want to put it. So it's backed off that border. Got extra infantry in there. Don't quite like what the CCP are doing there. Don't. Yeah, but it's not really protectable. Yeah, we're gonna put in Kwangtung. Yeah, we're gonna go in Kwangtung just so we've got the coast covered here. Shantung can get one next turn. Alright. I'm gonna start upgrading some of these. So, that is pretty much on my turn. Now I'll move on to collect income. Yeah, there's 6 bonuses there. I always forget how many it is. So, first we've got a few tech rolls. The Japanese tech program continues to amaze its countrymen by giving all its luck to the Germans, who hit 4 for 4 on their technologies this turn. And yeah, yeah. So, for Japan, we're going to take improved construction and large ship construction, and we're going to roll those. And we'll see if we can get some luck here. Okay, well, large ship construction, no. We did get improved construction, which is good. We are finally at the point where we should have been a few turns ago. So much for that. In terms of income, there is 32 IPP that I'm collecting, plus the 6 for China. Bring the 6. Wait. 32 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should bring 1 to 38. I guess I gained Siam last turn. I don't think I actually gave I think I shorted myself $1 there, because nothing has changed income-wise this turn. I should have had 38 last turn as well as this turn. If my competitors are okay with it, I will give myself the extra $1 this turn, considering I should have had it last turn. And so I'm collecting 38. We're going to call that 39 because there was that extra leftover dollar I miscollected last turn. So it's rather funny. I was contemplating buying a strategic bomber this turn instead of an air transport, and I realized that I can't do that until January 40. So that extra dollar would just make me deliberate even harder over whether or not I could have the money to spare on a piece I could not ultimately buy. Alas. Alright, so that is the sum total of my turn. I don't have any recruitment rolls or such. And then I'm just going to go over and do a quick overview of the board. But that is the end of my turn. So, Soviets have gone and taken out Southern Iran, albeit with heavy casualties. Only 2 cavalry remain in the area, which is a greatly reduced shell of their former force. However, Crimea is stacked with the 98th Army, mini planes, 2 Marines, transports in the Black Sea, airborne. She certainly looks prepped to do something. Those infantry are in Kiev. They were moved there because they can't actually follow along with these motorized, which I believe are in Tarita and not southern Ukraine. Yeah, are in Tarita. May have sit on the board there. Then we have Finland finally falling. Soviet High Command miscalculated the speed at which their infantry could travel, and because of that, they took quite a few more casualties than they were expecting in Helsinki, but they have ultimately taken that, and so that is theirs to win, and we can stick their flag on it. Alas, communism spreads. Germany has been quite impressive. They have aligned Hungary to their cause. They have continued to build up forces in the west of Europe. They have sent down much aid in the form of the Deutsches Afrika Korps to their ally in Italy, losing only a few soldiers on the way to British submarine attacks. They have also proceeded to reinforce the Italians in the Indian Ocean with a seaplane in Madagascar and a submarine off the coast of Aden. One can only wonder what the plans are in that area. Perhaps something to do with the battle cruiser and submarine in the Far East. As for their part, the British have simply been minding their own business by completely cramming the rock full of every soldier, ship, and airplane it will house. They must be practically out of room on Gibraltar. It's not a very big place over there, but they have something like 4 planes, several infantry class units, a bunch of ships, the entire Free French Navy, which is in a standoff with the Vichy Navy outside. It's also supporting the very large UK First Fleet, which consists of not only half the British carrier force and their Eastern Fleet's battleships, but also their battlecruiser squadron and many cruisers. All here to keep the Italians under control, which doesn't seem to have worked. The Italians are really quite out of control. They've taken Western Egypt. They have moved their entire fleet into the Red Sea and now control the Western Indian Ocean completely uncontested, except for 2 Soviet boats over in the Gulf of Aden doing, over in the Persian Gulf doing who knows what. The Free French appear to be contesting their dominion of Africa, however, with forces arranged throughout the East African region and have taken their colony of Italian Somaliland. And the British have reinforced their forces in Africa with some upgraded weapons and equipment and seem ready to march the local garrisons north, as well as shifting their merchant marine around the continent. The Americans have done very little building up of their own military, but have instead focused on supporting the war efforts of the democracies around the world, with lend-lease to Britain and the rest of the Commonwealth and France and China as soon as possible by foreign policy. Up here in the North Atlantic, German subs defy British escorts and anti-submarine warfare patrols to raid across the area, doing quite a fair bit of damage to the British in their process, and bottling up the British fleet in port. Britain has committed heavily to the defense of their home islands, large air force and land contingent, and some new anti-aircraft defenses, perhaps as a response to the German acquisitions in the conquest of France, which included not 1 but 2 battleships, one freshly seized from the French ports, and another Jean Bart nearing completion. German and the Russian front continues to remain quiet, minimal activity on either side, with some repositioning garrison forces, and the Polish remnants in East Poland maintain an uneasy truce between the two of them, neither able to do anything nor able to go anywhere. Cut off from outside aid, perhaps. I believe that is all, besides the tactical misadventures of the Japanese army in Yunnan this last turn, and of course the people responsible for that have been given a stern talking to, and informed exactly how conduct becoming of a Japanese officer looks when put in this situation. So that will no longer be an issue among the Japanese army, and the Navy has seen no end of reason to laugh themselves silly over it for the Army's continual blunders. So we perhaps might see some more funding redirected to the Imperial Japanese Navy shortly, as they have not yet overplayed their hand to the extent that their land counterparts have, or perhaps land rivals might be a more accurate estimation. So that appears to be all for this turn. I'll leave you here. Can't wait to see you again soon, and pass the turn off to Davik for the UK and Commonwealth and France. Alright, goodbye now.